Hi, my name's Tani, and this is my home, a school bus conversion named Oliver. I live here with my husband Mike, our Great Dane Apollo, and part-time with our two teenagers, Aiden and Ellie. Today, everyone's gone, and I thought it'd be the perfect time to take you on a tiny home tour. Welcome to ours. So when you first come in, you're in what's kind of our office, mudroom, entryway. It's kind of a combo area. When you first walk in, there is the Shelving Unit on your left-hand side, which has hooks for keys. It's the random place, like all that stuff that you have on you when you come in the house, bags you can kind of throw down. There's hooks for our shoes to keep those neat, and we actually have a slatted wood tile floor there to help drain any excess dirt, wetness, things like that off of shoes, because when you're traveling all the time, you're constantly coming in and out and dragging whatever scenery you happen to be in your home with you. So that helps cut down on the dirt. The driver's area, when it's not being used for driving, is actually my office area. My laptop sits perfectly on the steering wheel. I can sit in the seat. I've got the beautiful driver's window there. I can sit there and look out while I'm working remotely. And then when we're parked, like we are now, we have these panels. They're just a faux wall panel that we can put up in the windows. They're really nothing but a glorified sunshade. But it really helps finish off this area and make it feel like it's part of the house as opposed to just a cockpit area. So right behind the driver's area is our living space. Where I'm standing there actually used to be 2 bunk beds. We really felt like it was important for the kids to have their own space, like a dedicated room for them where they could keep their stuff, had their privacy. It had curtains that went across the front. However, we got back from our first big trip and they confided that they hated the bunk beds, mainly because it meant that they had to stay cramped in them while we drove, or all 3 people who weren't in the driver's seat had to sit on the couch together, which got a little crowded. So when we got back, we tore out their bunk beds and we found a way to keep the space open but also still have 2 beds by putting in a fold-down Murphy couch. So this mantle actually folds down into the second bed. We used the old RV bunk mattresses that were from their bunks to create both couches. So now when we travel, we can fold the 1 bed away, all be together in this living space, gives us a ton more living area, but we can fold it down when the kids are with us and they each still have their own bed. So other notable things in the living room, we have the platform couch, which has wire basket storage underneath. That's where we keep things we reach for on a regular basis, electronics, homeschool supplies, things like that. Just to the other side of the couch, there's a built-in cupboard that has a fold-away table. We can pull it out, unfold it if it's perfectly in the space. We can sit here playing a board game together, then fold it back away. It's also nice because then we can take it outside if we want to eat outside. There's also a steamer trunk that we found on Facebook Marketplace. Gave us a ton of extra storage space, but we were able to really seamlessly kind of incorporate it into the design. And then we have a 40-inch television. Mike is a huge gamer. We also love to watch movies together. And when we do that, we have people on this couch, we can put this couch down, and we actually have this, which is for a hanging hammock chair. So that television can pull out and pivot so that the entire room of people watching can see it. Welcome to the kitchen. We did an L-shaped kitchen with an offset fridge and pantry to one side. We knew when we designed it that we wouldn't be putting in any overhead cabinetry, and so we knew that all of our storage for food and dishes and pots and pans would have to be in this block of counters, and an L-shape seemed the best way to maximize that space. Like I said, we have a full-sized RV fridge and a 3-burner range. We found these appliances as a mismatch set that we were able to do a brushed rose gold finish on to make them match. Other notable feature we get asked a lot about is our concrete countertops. Yes, they're concrete, but they're not poured concrete, so they're not heavy. It's just veneer type finish over wood forms, and then it's sealed with a food grade waterproof sealer. We've been traveling for over a year, and every so often we notice like a little hairline crack somewhere that's easy to fill in, but otherwise they've held up beautifully. The sink is built directly into the countertops. It's also made of concrete. We have a really awesome faucet sprayer that allows us to move this wherever we need to, and then a bonus pot filler, which really helps out. On the other side, behind the fridge, there's a pantry shelf. We use elastic to hold everything in so we can grab things out really easily and put them back, but that way we never have to move anything when we're traveling. That holds most of our dry goods, oatmeal, rice, beans, that kind of thing. I also have this shelf, which we added in a few months ago, to hold all of the herbs that I use for body care and teas. Things that I was grabbing for and I was tired of rooting around under here for are now housed in little jars up here. And then we also have a bonus little spice rack up on top of our fridge that are magnetic tins that stick perfectly. So on the other side of our L-shaped kitchen is a built-in eating bar. When we were designing it, we knew we wanted some kind of family gathering table space, but we didn't necessarily want to dedicate space to a built-in table. This is how we got around it and were able to have that family space without actually building anything in and taking up permanent space on a day-to-day level. So there are 4 stools that just stack into the corner, meaning they can completely push out of the way and disappear. Or we can pull them all out and all sit here and eat. We eat family dinners here. The kids will sit here and do homework. They'll sit here and talk to me while I cook. It's just a really nice family area, and it maintains the old feeling we had in our house where the kitchen was like the hub of our home. The other nice thing is I really enjoy baking, and one thing I was worried about moving from a regular house to a tiny home was having enough space, and so dedicating a little bit of extra counter space that can also double as an eating area is nice, because when I bake, I can completely spread out here and I don't at all feel like I'm missing anything in a smaller kitchen. So behind that is a corkboard wall, which has a map that the kids love to push pins onto and put up pictures of all the different places that we've traveled to together. And our wood stove. So our home base is Montana. Winters last 6 to 8 months out of the year, and they get pretty darn cold. So we knew that we would need to have a reliable, constant source of heat, and we wanted it to be dry heat, which meant that a wood stove was the way to go. We found this Joe Tool 602 sitting behind somebody's shed. We grabbed it for $40. It was all rusted out, but it was perfect. We just loved the character. And then there's a built-in wood box underneath. We put the wood stove right by our side door so that it would be really easy for us to bring in wood in the winter. We just pop open the side door, Mike brings in wood, and I put it right into the wood box underneath. And this one little stove can keep the entire area completely toasty warm, even through a really harsh Montana winter. So just past the wood stove, it puts you in our hallway. If you turn left, it takes you into our bathroom. If you go straight back and over the wheel well, you end up in our master bedroom. The sliding door for the bathroom is actually a full-length mirror because I have a teenage girl and we knew that was going to be necessary. So it just slides shut and back open. Let's go in the bathroom. So in our bathroom, when you first walk in, there's a toilet and sink on the left-hand side and a tub and shower on the right-hand side. The bathroom is one of my favorite rooms of the house. It was one where I kind of had a vision for it, and I was like determined that that's the way it was going to turn out, even though I wasn't sure it would actually work, but it did, and it turned out beautifully. So it is one of my absolute favorite rooms. So for our toilet, we did a Nature's Head composting toilet. We didn't want to plumb in a black tank. We didn't want to have to deal with emptying. So the composting toilet was the one that we put in, which we've not regretted. We really enjoy having that. The sink is just a smaller version of a regular bathroom sink, basin style, that's sunk into the concrete countertop. Our shower head has 3 different ways. It has the rain style shower head. It has the hose attachment, which is really nice because when we get dirty outside, like running around the beach or whatever, we can stretch the hose out and wash off before we come back onto the bus. And then of course it has the regular faucet for filling the tub. The tub is an old wine barrel that's cut in half, and then we drilled a hole in the bottom to allow it to just drain out into the shower. By not plumbing it in and keeping it portable, it means that I'm able to take it outside, like when we're in a really remote, awesome location. I can take it outside, throw the hose out the side, fill it up, and I can take some pretty epic baths in some pretty epic scenery. And then the floors, concrete, so we used the same veneer style concrete that we used on our kitchen cabinets. This is over really heavily waterproofed wood forms, and then of course it's got several layers of waterproof sealer over the top of it, but it gets really slippery when it's wet. So the floors are the same acacia wood tiles that we used in the front entrance, which allows the water to drain through when we shower, but keeps us from sliding around everywhere. Last but certainly not least is the master bedroom all the way in the back of the bus. So when you come past the bathroom and up over the stair, you're in what's our closet area. We didn't want to put in a traditional closet with the space required for regular hangers, so our hanging clothes are on a copper bar with a series of clips that we just clip on. It keeps them kind of tucked away out of the way and also looks kind of cool against the wall there. On the other wheel well from the step into the bedroom is a storage chest that holds all of our cold weather clothes. Like I mentioned, home base is Montana, meaning that we have some pretty alternating seasons here, and extra clothes. So all the cold weather clothes get to be stacked away in that. Our queen bed is done platform style, so there's a ton of room underneath of here. There's 3 built-in drawers which hold the majority of our clothes. There's a cabinet which holds our shoes, and then the rest of the storage is accessed by flaps on top of the bed. We just hinge them up and we can get down in there. We have camping gear, I mean all kinds of stuff underneath of there. Probably one of the best decisions we made was to leave our rear engine compartment unwalled. A lot of people wall that over, but we didn't want to lose that really big window in the back. So instead, we built a window seat over the top of the engine, and so now we have room to just sit back there. And when we can back the bus up to like a really beautiful sunrise and just lay back there watching it, that's pretty much the ultimate. One of the best choices we made for sure. The other thing I should probably mention is on top of the roof through this panel here, we have a deck, which again, if you can back up to a really nice sunset view, pop this hatch, climb up on the deck, and just lay there watching the sun go down, and that's been some of my best memories in the bus so far. I think that about sums it up. If you have any other questions, feel free to go to our website, www.sensualgup.com, or our Instagram and YouTube channels, @sensualgup. Thanks for stopping by.